it's Mac, and it's the video I've been hinting at for my very short time on YouTube, an Iowa video. Okay, I won't do that to you again, sorry. It's apparently the Iowa State song, not to be confused with the university, although before I researched about this video, I didn't even know it existed. I actually learned a lot about Iowa from researching this video, even though I live in Iowa. Hope this was a good transition, because let's get into the video. First, let's get into the history of Iowa. The first people who settled Iowa were the Iowa people, hence the name. But the Iowa people weren't the only people who settled in Iowa. Some other American Indian tribes included, don't get mad at me if I pronounce these wrong, Dakota, Ho-Chunk, Oto, Illiniwek, Meskwaki, Omaha, and Sauk. These people lived for thousands of years in Iowa, living off the land between the Missouri and the Mississippi River. Then French explorers found Iowa and interacted with the Iowa people. Even Lewis and Clark, when they made their famous expedition, met the Iowa people. Many frontiersmen saw Iowa, with its fertile soil and prairie lands, a perfect place to live. At first they lived in peace with the American Indian tribes, but as they grew, they kicked the American Indians out onto reservations. Most Iowa people today live on Kansas-Nebraska reservations. During the time of settlement, Iowa was part of the Louisiana Territory. At first owned by the French sold it to the Spanish, and was eventually sold to the Americans. In 1838, the territory of Iowa was created, and on December 28, 1846, Iowa became the 29th state of the United States. At first, the capital of Iowa was Iowa City, in the eastern part of the state, but as western expansion grew, they decided that they needed a more central capital. It was decided that Des Moines would be the new capital. Des Moines is more central than Iowa City, but still slightly southwest. And yes, it is pronounced Des Moines, not Des Moines. Please don't do that. Which is French, but it's actually not that French. When French explorers found Iowa, they found the Mogonia people near a large tributary on the west bank of the Mississippi, and named that area Des Moines, literally meaning of Des Moines. And then that got confused with Des Moines, which means of the monks, and then the river running through the state was called the Des Moines River, and then a fort by that river was called Fort Des Moines, and then turned into Des Moines, and then now is our capital. Today, Iowa has over 3 million people, and 300,000 of those people living in the capital of Des Moines. Iowa is known for its farming, mostly corn, even though Nebraska is the Cornhusker state, but we are the leading state in corn production and one of the leading places in the world of corn production. We also are known for pigs, as in having more pigs than people in our state. Other farming includes soybeans, wheat, etc. We are also known for being in the Midwest and being more of a flyover state or go-through state, as people think there isn't that much going on here, which is not 100% inaccurate, but whatever. But there's still some inaccuracy to that statement. We are known for being the heartland of the United States, partly because our mass in farming. Speaking of farming, we're also known for our farming. I know I just said that, but that's what most people think of Iowa, just farming and being in the Midwest. But there's more to Iowa than that. Iowa is called the Hawkeye State. Why? We're not 100% sure. It was coined by two men named Judge David Rohrer and James G. Edwards. Either is because of Mr. Edwards' nickname given to Chief Blackhawk named Hawkeye, or it was named after the famous story Last of the Mohicans character Hawkeye. Either way, I think it's pretty cool. They named it Hawkeye because they wanted to be different than the other states, like Cornhusker. Our state bird is the eastern goldfinch, our state flower is the prairie rose, our tree is the bur oak, and the state rock is the geode, so that's pretty cool. While Iowa is a landlocked state, our eastern and western border are created by the Mississippi and the Missouri River, respectively. Our state flag is similar to the French flag due to the French influence, but has a cool bird in it. It's got an eagle. It's cool. It also has Iowa on it. It's cool. And while we don't have any NFL or MLB or NBA teams, that means you can choose your respective team for respective sports. But we got 2 big college teams. We got Iowa and Iowa State. Woo, go Iowa State. There has been a big rival ever since their inceptions, with Iowa State being the better one. We also got some other cool stuff too. The big I-80, I-35 crossover goes around Des Moines. We have Adventureland, a pretty cool amusement park. We got some cool restaurants like Jethro's, which was on Man vs. Food, and Man Lost, so that's cool. We also have the Iowa State Fair, which was big even before Iowa became a state. People from across the country come and see the Iowa State Fair, so that's awesome. And we also got a few cool people from Iowa too. In reality, I'm surprised when I hear anybody is from Iowa or if Iowa is in any media because it is pretty glossed over in a lot of aspects. But here's some really cool people from Iowa. For some older people, we've got Herbert Hoover, our 31st president. You know, the guy who kind of messed up the Great Depression and made it worse? Yeah, that guy. But other than that, he was a pretty cool guy. We also got Grant Wood, you know, the painter of American Gothic, you know, the guy and the gal with the pitchfork. It's pretty cool. We also got a couple actors like John Wayne, that guy. Yeah, he's pretty important in Winterset where he was born. There's a lot of stuff there. It's pretty cool. Donna Reed was also born here. You know, the woman who plays Mary, George's wife in It's a Wonderful Life. Yes, there's a museum around here somewhere about her, so that's cool. For more contemporary people, we have the band Slipknot. Like, almost everyone in Slipknot was born in Iowa, so that's pretty cool. We also got Ashton Kutcher, the actor. We also have Elijah Wood. I didn't know this before researching this. Like, Frodo. Like, that's wild. We also got Michael Emerson from Lost. Ben from Lost. This rocked my world. And then some people in the media, we got Private Ryan from Saving Private Ryan, the guy that they try to save. Apparently he's from Iowa, and all his brothers that died, but whatever. Also, Barry Allen in the comics is supposed to be from Iowa, like the Flash. That's pretty cool. And Miss Piggy, which, I mean, makes sense because we have more pigs than people, so that's cool. She didn't get turned into bacon, so that's good. We also got Captain Kirk from Star Trek. Apparently he was born in Iowa too. That's pretty cool. Got that one guy from Grey's Anatomy. Can't remember his name for the life of me. But it talks about he does wrestling, which is a definitely Iowan thing. So yeah, that's cool. We also got Clayton Barton, Hawkeye, like the Arrow guy. I mean, you can see where he got his name. And apparently there's even more like famous people from Iowa. This is wild. I wouldn't even dream of this many famous people from Iowa. It's crazy. And now we're gonna go to some musicals, plays, and movies and shows that feature Iowa. First we have Bridges of Madison County, which is about a love story from people in Iowa, specifically Madison County, because there's a lot of cool covered bridges around Madison County, so that's pretty cool. We also have The Music Man, of this guy going to Iowa and trying to scam them, basically, but it's fun. It's musical. It's fun. Going more into movies and shows, we got Children of the Corn, the horror movie that was actually filmed in Iowa, so that's pretty cool. Guess where they got corn? And we also have Field of Dreams, which is a little bit of a two-parter thing because it's about baseball, but Iowa has a lot of fields of corn and soybean and stuff, so that's pretty cool. We also have Twister because tornadoes, and there's a lot of tornadoes in Iowa, even though I've technically never seen one, so yay. And also Titanic, apparently Old Rose moves to Iowa at one point, so that's kind of cool. I didn't know that at all. And then we have that little part in National Treasure. They just say it a little bit, but every single time my heart soars. And then we have X-Files. The third episode of X-Files ever was about Iowa, but it's definitely not in Iowa. For example, they have mountains in the background because it's filmed in Vancouver, but Yeah, it's a whole thing. I actually have a shirt about it that's supposed to be like a gag about it. It's really funny. And then we also have Lost. One of the main characters, Kate, is supposed to be from Iowa, and so some of the flashbacks are supposed to be in Iowa, and they talk about Iowa. So cool. But it's filmed in Hawaii, so it's definitely not Iowa. Most of the media about Iowa isn't actually filmed in Iowa, but it's the thought that counts. I love it nonetheless. And that's about it. I know it's not much like a lot of other famous states and places like New York, California, etc., but I think Iowa doesn't get as much credit as it should, coming from an Iowan anyway. You can tell I like Iowa a lot since I talked about it for almost 12 minutes. Anyways, I hope you learned more about my home state and enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching.